Steve, I've really enjoyed your blogs, your writings. Tell me how all that came about.
It came about April of last year. I've always been interested in blogging, and I was looking for a subject to blog about. And it occurred to me that Luke, my youngest son, who has autism, was sort of steadily growing away from me emotionally, and it was quite noticeable more and more as sort of the days and the weeks were passing. So I thought, well, I'll just write about how that makes me feel, and I wrote the first one just saying, I see a lot of mums writing about their autistic children. I don't see a lot of dads writing about their autistic children, so I thought I would write about it myself, and wrote the first one, posted it. A lot of people read it, so I wrote the next one, and just it grew from there really. And as I say, it started about April last year, and I've written I'm up to number 38 at the moment. So that's just over 10 months. So yeah.
And what is the feedback you've got? What are the type of things that people said?
A lot of people have said that they loved reading them because it is from a father's point of view, and I always say this is from a father's point of view. It's about me and Luke. It's not about my wife and Luke. It's not about me and my wife. It's not about me and my oldest son. It's about me and Luke's relationship. And because there's a lot of people who know Luke, or they don't know Luke, or they don't know me, they say it's quite an eye-opener as to actually get a dad's feelings and his actual honest, brutal, emotional feelings about the whole affair, the whole subject about autism and how it is to raise an autistic child. A lot of people have said that it's, it may be even raising awareness of the autistic spectrum as well. But it has always been about just me and Luke.
Do you ever have to do any myth busting? Any sort of does he take sugar, etc.?
I do sort of talk a lot about his diet, his reactions to things, and how he reacts and why he reacts to certain things. I mean, autistic children are not all the same. There are certain aspects of autistic life that are, with Luke, that they don't apply. He is quite a cuddly boy, or he was quite a cuddly boy with all of us. It's sort of tailed off a little bit as he's got older. I mean, he's 15 now, so he's going through the puberty stage as well. So there are a lot of things that a lot of things that an autistic child will do that Luke doesn't do. He doesn't flap so much like a lot of autistic children will do. But he does have his routines. He does have his repetitive things that he loves to do. But yeah, so I do address a lot of myths, a lot of preconceptions, and a lot of things that Luke will do in the blogs.
Is there a lot of sort of misunderstanding, ignorance in that? In that way that, again, from my point of view, if there was a teenager who didn't have autism in the corner of the room and listening with headphones and an iPad, I'd probably think to myself, well, he's probably listening to music, Michael. But I'm about to ask you, what is Luke doing in the corner of the room? You probably give the same answer, is that right?
Yeah. I mean, he does tend to listen to more television programs than actual music. He does tend to watch the same sort of television programs over and over again. He doesn't tend to listen to music too much, but he does, because he listens to the same thing over and over again. We like him to have the headphones in because it can repeat a lot. So we do tend to sort of, he does, in that respect, he does do a lot of what a teenage child would do.
Do you speak to other fathers ever?
Yeah. I work at Millward School in Harlow, and I look after or work with an autistic child. So I speak to the parents of that child as well. We've got a few autistic children in the school on the autistic spectrum, so I do tend to speak to one particular father because it's his child, but there are other autistic fathers that I will speak to as well. So.
Again, forgive my ignorance. I've been running, your Thurrock for many years, and there's a very good school, Treetops. So where does Luke go to school here in Harlow?
He used to go to school at Stewards up until February of last year. In February of last year, he was diagnosed with epilepsy on top of the autism, So we decided to take him out of school and homeschool him. It was a decision that we were sort of mulling over for a few months, because he got to a stage around about November time when he first had his first seizure. He was getting very reluctant to go to school, and it was getting to be a real struggle to get him out of the car, get him dressed in the morning, get him into the school. Once he was in the school, he seemed to be fine, but there was something about actually going to the school that he didn't like. And with the diagnosis of the epilepsy in February, we thought we don't want to really put any more stress on him, because it may trigger a seizure and may trigger an episode. So we thought, well, we'll take him out of school and we'll homeschool him.
How long do you think you'll keep the blog going?
That's a difficult question. I didn't think I would get this far. As I say, I've written 38 blogs. I didn't anticipate writing as many. It's great that I am, because people still want to read them. How long they'll go, I don't know. It could be, I could finish it at 40, I could finish it at 50. When people stop reading them, I think that's probably when I'll stop writing them.
But you still enjoy doing it?
Yeah. It's good for me. It's good for me. It's good for Luke. And as I say, a lot of people seem to get a lot of information and a little bit of an understanding out of the autistic spectrum as well, from a father's point of view.
Steve, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.